Hey guys, it's CyrusofChaos. I'm here with Kelleigh Ryan and Ahmed Yilla, who are the owners of Lion Ethik and Verb Fitness, respectively. And today we're going to talk about some ways to keep up your physicality and work on your strength and conditioning during the quarantine and outside of the quarantine. So I'm going to let them introduce themselves. Kelleigh, why don't you go first? Tell us about yourself, how you got into the fitness field, and why you chose the name Lion Ethic for your company.
Okay, sure. So I'm Kelleigh Ryan. I'm on the Canadian women's foil team, on the senior team. I'm from Ottawa, Ontario, but I live in Jersey City and train at Fencers Club, where my husband Alex coaches. Um, I'm a long-term fencer. I've been doing it for over 20 years, and I got into strength and conditioning because I had a lot of knee issues in my early 20s,
Me too.
and yeah, we all did. Okay.
Common.
And then I started working with trainers and learning that like the way that I do the exercises has a big impact on how it feels. And then also managing like volume and stuff makes a difference to my injuries and whatnot. And it just like as I learned more and more, it just fascinated me, and I can't stop thinking about it.
That's great.
Yeah, and then I recently started Lion Ethic. It was supposed to be a post Tokyo kind of launch type thing, but that's been delayed, and I had all this time, so I thought like this is a really good time for me to expand my business beyond like the clients that I've been working with, and yeah. Oh, I had to explain why. So lion is kind of just like an animal thing that I relate to. Like if I were to have a spirit animal, that would be it.
You have a nice
Um,
golden mane, so
Yes, Alex does make that joke a lot. um, but there's two levels to it. So like, and my high school friends always called me Smelly, and then we discovered that Kelleigh Ryan rhymes with Smelly Lion. So like that's also become a yes. I know it's silly, but if you're me, it's just normal. Like Alex and I always joke about it. He calls me like Grumpy Lion or Hungry Lion, like you know. Anyway, and then it's also just like as a fencer, I feel like I have like sort of some kind of tenacity on the strip, and I don't know. Anyone who's like fences with me seems to agree that it makes sense. So,
All right, nice, nice.
and then
Ahmed.
ethics equals work ethic. Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. Ahmed, your turn.
So my name is Ahmed Yilla. I owner of Verb Fitness, and I've been in the fitness world for about 12 years now. My specialty is in strength and conditioning. Um, so my connection with fencing is I'm a former competitive fencer.
Yeah, we
Uh,
used to fence together at the FC, so
Yeah, so we say exactly in New York City. Now, I know probably for most of your followers, they'll have no clue who I am, right? In terms of the competitive world, I fenced back in the '90s to early 2000, right? So I definitely know Andrew very, very well. I'm a saber fencer, and yeah, it was part of the junior national team. One of the top fencers in seniors. So that's my connection with fencing. Uh, and then with fitness, first I started. Why I got into it was that I was working in the corporate world after graduating college. It was in real estate law, and it was boring. All right, being an athlete, it was boring. I just could not sit down at a desk all day. Yeah, it was money being made, but it was just I was like, all right, I can't take this anymore, right? Anyway, left that field, and I gave myself about 3 months, right, to like literally figure out what is it I want to do with my life, right? I was like, I don't want to go back into something where I'm just not going to be happy with it. I'm not going to really enjoy. Um, so funny thing, my ex-girlfriend at the time was like, "Hey, oh, you like fitness and you like sports? You ever thought about getting into that?" And I was like, doesn't sound bad, right? But I didn't know about strength and conditioning. I had no idea actually about it. So I was like, all right, I did some research. I was like, all right, how do I get into this? What do I have to do? Moving forward, I went to one of well-known fitness clubs out there. I literally went to the manager there. I was like, hey, look, I want to get into fitness. I want to be a trainer. Is there any way I can get a job here? I'll do whatever I have to do and just learn, And she's like, well, what experience do you have? I was like, I have no experience. The only experience I have is I'm an athlete in fencing. And she's like, oh, that's interesting. And based on that, she actually hired me.
Nice.
Yeah, based on that, she hired me, but I worked my butt off and did very well in the company. And after, let's say about 6 years, then I decided, hey, you know what? I want to transition out. I want to start my own company, and that's what happened. I transitioned out and started Verb Fitness. My thing is, since I had this connection to fencing, and I had this understanding of strength and conditioning at the time, which I didn't have in the beginning, or even when I was fencing, I was like, all right, how do I bring this to fencers? And with that connection, I started talking to obviously former teammates, and I was like, hey, how about you start working with me, and getting stronger. And from there, it just started rising, and I started working with many different athletes, mostly fencers. That's the majority of my clientele. And so now, yeah, that's what I do. I also work with Columbia men and women's fencing team. But that's what I've been doing for the past 12 years now, So,
Nice.
yeah. And
so, yeah, why Verb?
Yeah, why Verb? Verb I'll say pretty simple, right? For me, it came to me because Verb basically is action, right? And so for me, it's about taking action on whatever it is, whatever your goal is, take action on it. And that's basically what Verb symbolizes.
That's cool. I like that a lot.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool. I honestly had no idea, but I really like the explanation.
Yeah, me too. It's really neat.
But I think we're curious about why CyrusofChaos too.
Yes.
Yeah, it makes sense. So the name comes from back when before I started fencing, I was pretty good at a video game called Super Smash Bros. Melee, and I used to go to and win tournaments. And so like when you play in a video game, usually you pick your own tag, and so that was my tag. And the reason for that is I really like the name Cyrus a lot. I have ever since the first time I heard it in my history class. And in in Melee, you have crews just like you have clubs in fencing. So I was like in fencing, I represented the New York Athletic Club, but in Melee, I represented the Chaos crew. So I was CyrusofChaos. So that's
nice.
That's where that's from. So when I posted, yeah. So when I posted my first video ever for fencing, I already had a video game YouTube channel, and so I didn't make a new one. I just posted it there, and as I uploaded more things, the name just kind of followed me from my video game days to my fencing stuff. So
makes sense.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that's
all right. Now we know.
Yeah. So that's for anyone out there. That's where the name came from. So.
Have you told that story on your YouTube channel yet?
At some point, maybe, but yeah,
okay.
it's buried somewhere. Just like this will be buried as a little treat for anyone who's watching. So. Yeah.